Cybernetic Revolution was released August 17th, 2005, and this set has quite a bit of power in it. This set introduces the Veacroids, a series of machine-type monsters that, like the elemental heroes, can be combined in various ways for fusion summons. This set has a lot of noteworthy cards even at the common slot. Mad Lobster and Jerry Beansman are the largest 3-star summons that we have at 1700 and 1750 attack. Mad Lobster in particular could be good in that Heart of the Underworld water deck that I was talking about. Now, as far as Veacroids go, there are a couple of them that are pretty good. Steamroid is a 2300 beater on offense, but it's only a 1300 on defense. This card may see some play. One that will see play is Drillroid. Drillroid is a 1600 attacker that can destroy any defense position monster regardless of its defense stat. Unlike Sasuke Samurai and Mystic Swordsman level 2, however, before the defending monster gets destroyed, it will flip up, so any flip effects will still trigger. A Giant Kozaki will only be played in the all-in skill drain deck. It's a 2500 normal summon that if you don't control a Kozaki, which I believe is a 100-100 vanilla monster from an older set, it will be destroyed and you'll take 2500 points of damage to the face. A monster that will see play in the skill drain deck is Indomitable Fighter Lele. This is a Goblin attack force at common. Poison Draw Frog is something that we're going to want to pick up for the future. It will not be useful now, but in the next several sets, there are going to be a series of level 2 Aqua monsters that are all frogs, and there is a frog deck that we will be able to build once we have more pieces for it later on in the GX and 5Ds eras. Tyranno Infinity is a build-around once we have Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure. That could wind up being very strong. Now, Fusion Recovery is very good in fusion-based decks, and I could see board wanting to try this out. However, if you're thinking about putting it in your Elemental Hero deck, don't do that quite yet, because we will be getting Rottweiler soon, which is a monster that does the same thing. Now, the 4 spiritual arts for the elemental attributes are very noteworthy. All of them are very playable if you have a dedicated deck of this attribute. So the Earth Art will let you tribute a monster of the Earth attribute, and then you can special summon another one that is level 4 or lower. Spiritual Water Art is a confiscation. Spiritual Fire Art is a very powerful burn spell. And with Board's Lava Golem, I could see him building a deck with this. And then Spiritual Wind Art lets you put a card on the field on the bottom of its owner's deck. The final common that's worth talking about is Conscription. Conscription is a very high roll card, but it can be very powerful. It excavates the top card of your opponent's deck. If it is a monster that can be normal summoned, you get to special summon it. Otherwise, your opponent gets to draw the card. And then the only other super noteworthy common in this set is Dragon's Mirror. Now, Dragon's Mirror is a fusion card that lets you fuse dragon-type monsters from your graveyard. At the rare slot, we have the aforementioned Rottweiler, which is a fusion recovery for elemental heroes. We have elemental hero Bubbleman as well, which is not quite as good as Jaden Yuki makes it out to be, but it will still be played in the elemental hero decks. And speaking of elemental heroes, Miracle Fusion is in this set, which is the Dragon's Mirror, which lets you fuse out of the graveyard, but for elemental heroes. System Down is going to be a very important side deck card that, given that I just pulled 2 Ancient Gear Golems out of the previous set, if board opens any of these, I am sure they are going to be in his side deck. Magical Explosion was in Cybernetic Revolution as well. There is an OTK with this card, and it will, once we have enough critical mass to be able to make the deck, will get very quickly limited and then banned. The Dimension Wall is a very nasty trap card that I could see either one of us playing depending on our builds. So Dimension Wall is kind of like Magic Cylinder, but it doesn't negate the attack. It simply causes your opponent to take any battle damage that would be inflicted on you for that battle. And then at the super rare slot, we have some pretty strong stuff. The big thing that we want out of the super rare slot is Cyber Dragon. It is a super rare, so it's not guaranteed that we get it, but if one of us gets this card, it is going to change everything. It's a 2100 summon, but unlike a lot of cards that have this sort of effect, it does not take up your normal summon for the turn. If you don't have a monster and your opponent does, you can just special summon it for free. A Goblin Elite attack force is noteworthy as well. It's a Goblin attack force that has a little bit less attack, but it actually has the defense to survive attacks. And then the last noteworthy super rare is Skyscraper. This is the Elemental Hero field spell that gives any elemental hero that attacks 1,000 attack points during damage calc if it has less attack than the monster it's attacking. And at the ultra rare slot, there's not too terribly much. We have a couple of high-end fusions that we probably won't be making, but we do have Powerbond. So Powerbond is kind of an all-in card that's meant to be used with Cyber Dragons. It lets you fusion summon a machine-type monster, just like you would with Polymerization, but the monster's attack gets doubled, and then you take damage equal to its original attack at the end of the turn. So what people did with this back in the day is they would use this to make an 8,000 attack Cyber End Dragon and win the game before that nasty drawback took place. However, Cybernetic Revolution isn't the only set that came out during this time period either. Dark Beginning 2 was released on July 27th, 2005. This is a reprint set containing many cards from Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon through Pharaonic Guardian, and this set is incredibly powerful. We're going to want to open as many packs of this as possible, and this has a lot of brand new cards. I won't talk too much about reprints, but I will hit some highlights. With Elemental Heroes being a possible support, D-Fusion, which was previously a super rare, is now at common, and it is very, very strong. We will want that for any fusion decks that we will use. All the Attribute Anthem monsters, such as Starboy and Little Chimera, are in this set at common. A Mechanical Chaser is at common. I would like another one of those. Gemini Elf. And there are also a handful of cards that we did not have access to in the Progression series previously. A Machine King was a Duelist League promo that could see play in the Machine decks. Dragon Seeker was from a tournament pack, Green Kappa was from a tournament pack, Needleworm from a tournament pack, Magical Thorn from a tournament pack. Lots of tournament pack cards here. A Fusion Sage is a Polymerization tutor. Kaiser Seahorse is the light attribute 2 tribute monster, in that it can count as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a light monster. This was only previously printed in Structure Deck Kaiba Evolution, and then there are a whole bunch of new cards in the set as well, such as Toon Goblin Attack Force, Toon Gemini Elf, and Toon Masked Sorcerer, as well as Toon Table of Contents and Toon Defense. I don't think, unless we're going to be opening a ton of this set, that Toons will be viable, but if by some miracle we do open a lot of this set, we may be able to get enough Toon monsters and copies of Toon World to make a Toon deck viable. Exiled Force at common is huge. A Yata-Garasu at common. If one of us gets this and starts abusing it, we will probably ban this as soon as possible. Asura Priest is also at common and could wind up being played. We'll have another chance at getting Bottomless Trap Hole. Drop Off is at common. All of these cards that you're seeing are at common. Book of Tayo is at common and is not a short print this time either. Mirage of Nightmare is at common. This card is absolutely absurd and probably will be a good candidate for banning. And that's just the commons. There are a lot of powerful cards at other rarities as well. Take a look at some of these rares that we'll have. Kaiku, Bazu at rare. Graceful Charity at rare. So if we get Graceful Charity, this will just be a forever staple until somebody bans it. Cyberstein at rare. This is, I believe, our only chance to get Cyberstein for a very long time. And this is a card I'm extremely scared of board having. You can pay 5,000 life points to special summon a fusion monster from your deck in face-up attack position. And he has Master of Oz in his fusion deck, and that is a great way to cheat that out. This is also our first real access to Morphing Jar, since it was at Hollow in a tournament pack, so it was very difficult to get. Penguin Soldier is a card that we did not have access to previously. This card was in starter deck Joey, and it's a flip effect monster that bounces up to 2 monsters. Very, very good. Dark Bolter and Ryu Senshi and Fiend Skull Dragon are in this set at rare. Marauding Captain at rare. Reinforcement of the Army at rare. Last Turn at rare. This could get pretty crazy if someone winds up pulling this, because there's a Jaugen the Spiritualist last turn combo that was discussed in the Legacy of Darkness episode that causes you to win the game on the spot. Royal Oppression is also in this set, and this is the last chance that we will have to get Royal Oppression. I'm quite worried about this because I did not pick up a single copy of Royal Oppression in Legacy of Darkness, and this card, if one person has it and the other doesn't, is absolutely miserable to play against, especially when we have more summoning mechanics. Now, at Super Rare, you'll see a lot of strong, high-rarity staples from previous sets, as well as some brand new cards. All of the cards from the second wave of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tins are in this set. We have Solemn Judgment at a Super Rare, Mirror Force at Super Rare, so this will be another chance to get Mirror Force, Heavy Storm, Royal Decree, which was previously a tournament pack card. Total Defense Shogun is a brand new card that we do not have access to. It has 2,500 defense and 1,550 attack, and can attack while it is in defense position. Command Knight is something I would love to have for the Warrior deck, because it cannot be targeted while you have another Warrior as far as attacks go. So if you have a Marauding Captain and a Command Knight, it becomes an attack lock, and it also pumps all your Warriors by 400 points. It's another chance for us to get Aeronite Parshoth, as well as Book of Life. Donzalug at Super Rare as well. And at Ultra Rare, we have a lot of build-arounds, but we do have some new cards as well. Blade Knight is a very powerful card in Warrior decks. It becomes 2,000 attack if you only have one card in hand, and it negates flip effect monsters it destroys if it is the only monster you control. Swift Gaia, the Fierce Knight, you can normal summon if it is the only card in your hand, and it won't require any tributes. Obnoxious Celtic Guard can't be destroyed in battle by any monsters with more than 1,900 attack. Insect Queen is a build-around that we probably won't be able to use, and the rest of these cards are either bad or I have talked about them previously. So as you can see, tons and tons of crazy, crazy stuff in here. For this set only, the winner will have the chance to replace each of their wheel spins with 3 booster packs of Dark Beginning 2, and believe me, we will want to be doing this. This set is madness. And then after that, this set will be on the wheel for a few sets until it disappears. Alright, 24 packs of Cybernetic Revolution. This is a big set, has a lot of rares that we want. Not too many holos that we want, but Cyber Dragon. That's all I can ask for. Just give me a Cyber Dragon and let's go. Nothing super exciting out of this pack, unfortunately. And that pack has an ultimate rare Ufo Roid fighter. Unfortunately, we will most likely never make this, and the card is just not a good payoff for all the hoops that you have to jump through. We did pick up a Poison Draw Frog, though, and a Jerry Beans Man, as well as a copy of Magical Explosion, but that is not the kind of holo that you want to see. And there's an ultra rare, another ultra rare, that is Cyber End Dragon. So if we do wind up picking up a Stein out of a Dark Beginning 2, we will have an incredible target for this. Pretty happy to see Cyber End Dragon. It's not a Cyber Dragon, but it's still a great card if we can make it work. It is a bit of a long shot, but we will be happy to see this if we get the cards to use it. We did get a lot of Spiritual Elemental arts in this pack. All of them are very playable within their attribute decks, so several Spiritual Water arts may make their way into the Water deck, just because it is a confiscation on legs. And we got another super rare, it is Ufo Roid. Are we really gonna try to play this Ufo Roid fighter? A Ufo Roid is unfortunately not a great card. We did pick up a Rottweiler and a Fusion Recovery, so if we do wind up playing some sort of fusion-based deck, then those could come in handy. We did pick up another Jerry Beans Man, and we did get our third Miyabi as well. And there's our first copy of Drillroid, as well as our first copy of System Down. So in the event that board does wind up on a machine deck, we will have that in our back pocket, but that is a card I am very, very scared of him playing against me, because that Ancient Gear Golem base strategy that I have is pretty dead to System Down, and I'll have to build a way to deal with that. And another ultra rare that we're not going to make much use of, that is Winged Karibo level 10. Unfortunately, it is not worth the payoff, and we do not have a Winged Karibo to play with, but we may open a Winged Karibo out of Duelist Pack Jade of Yuki in the future. We will wind up most likely not making use of that. I will take another Drillroid as well as another copy of Poison Draw Frog. That is our second Drillroid. And a second Ufo Roid fighter. What is going on with the pack opener? That's 4 ultra rares. This is one of those sets that we really don't want ultra rares out of. Could you imagine if this was something like Rise of Destiny or Flaming Eternity? How crazy this would be. We did pick up another Rottweiler though, and that is our first copy of Conscription. I don't think we'll be playing this card. I think it's a little bit too risky, but it is something that we do need to be prepared for. And a second Ufo Roid. What is going on? Does this actually want me to play Ufo Roid Fighter? I really could now with these pulls. We also did get DDM, Different Dimension Master, which isn't going to be good now, but could be good once we get access to Macrocosmos. And there's another copy of System Down. We are halfway through this box. And we pulled a lot of holos, but not the right ones. I would like to see some better holos in the second half of the box. Well, there's another Steamroid. Steamroid is one of those cards that I would like to see 3 of, but just because it goes well into that machine deck, though I'm not sure how much it's going to last. It will depend on whether we see System Down out of board's side deck, and I still have to decide if taking that route is worth it, because the machine deck is a known quantity. Really not getting too many holos all of a sudden, but that does finish our Steamroid off. We did get a 3rd Magical Explosion if that deck ever becomes live, but we only have 6 packs to go, and we still haven't seen a Cyber Dragon. Well, that's not a Cyber Dragon, but that is a good card. That is a Dimension Wall, which could wind up seeing play, but I still would like 1 Cyber Dragon, please. All I ask for is 1. There's our 3rd Rottweiler, so if we can pick up those polymerizations, we could well have a hero deck on our hands. And there's another Dimension Wall, so we will have a couple of those to play with, and we did also pick up another Lele, which makes our playset of that, but we are really running out of packs here. So coming up on our last couple of packs here, still have not seen a Cyber Dragon. Can we get one in the close? We got an ultimate rare Cybernetic Magician. I don't think we'll be able to play that, but of note that is also our 2nd copy of Dragon's Mirror. So we could make some kind of Dragon Fusion deck in the future, but we don't have the fusions to do that as well. And we did finish our playset of Conscription. Again, I don't really care for the card, but it will be nice to have in the collection. And for our very last pack, another Cybernetic Magician, as well as an Elemental Hero Bubble Man, which is our first one of those. So we will have access to that as well, but what an odd box this was. A lot of holos, but none of the holos we were really looking for. So I think what we'll do now is take this into Dueling Book and see what we can come up with. And this is the deck that we will be taking to today's duel. I have decided to run the machines back against my better judgment due to System Down for a couple of reasons. We've had some really strange rare luck in the Progression series, and it's not guaranteed that a board will have copies of System Down, and if he does have copies of System Down, I do have a plan to deal with it. So we'll go down the card by card. We have 2 copies of Ancient Gear Golem. I did cut the Tribute Monsters down a bit, just because I've noticed some of our hands are very bricky, but this is still our win condition. 1 copy of Ancient Gear Soldier, wish I had more of this. 1 copy of Dekoichi, the Battle Chanted Locomotive. 3 copies of Drillroid. This is our way of dealing with set monsters. While this does not deal with their flip effects, it will kill defense position monsters regardless of their defense value. 1 copy of Fusilier Dragon, the Dual Mode Beast. 2 copies of Gyroid. This is the closest that we will get to Spirit Reaper. It soaks up 2 attacks, and is about as close to Spirit Reaper as we will get. 1 copy of Jinzo, 2 Magician of Faith, 3 Steamroid. This is a 2300 beater on offense, but a 1300 on defense. But this is pretty powerful, being able to get over Battle Footballers and other 2100 defenders. 2 copies of the Trojan Horse, the Tutor Runner win condition, 1 Witch of the Black Forest, and 1 Mechanical Chaser round out the monsters. We cut Sandgun from this list just due to not having enough targets for it. For the spells, 2 Book of Moon, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Delinquent Duo, 2 Gaia Power. You might notice that most, but not all of our monsters are Earth, so this will pump almost all of our monsters to very high values of attack strength. 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Lightning Vortex, 2 Limiter Removal. This is the last time we'll be able to play both of these copies at Limiter Removal for a little bit, because Limiter Removal does get limited with the release of the next set. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Pot of Greed, 1 Raigeki, 1 Snatch Steel, 1 Swords of Revealing Light. I kind of forgot that I had this in my card pool, and because our win condition relies on having a 2 Tribute monster, this plus Drillroid can really put our opponent on the back foot if they're not able to attack. For the traps, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Magic Drain. This Magic Drain is in here to try to stop System Down. We do have a second one in our side deck if we do see a lot of problematic spell cards. Now, I know I said I would put a lot more proactive ways to deal with board states and our opponent in general, but I feel that System Down is scary enough that we do need to be playing this card in some capacity, so I do have it split between main and side. 1 Mirror Force, 2 Phoenix Wing Windblast, and 1 Solemn Judgment round out the main deck. For the side deck, 2 Kaiku against Banishment Strategies, 1 Confiscation for going first, 1 Dark Hole. I did cut this from the main deck because since we are the aggressor with this deck, I do not want to destroy my own board, but this will come in if board is on a ton of boss monsters. 1 Giant Trunade, 2 My Body is a Shield. These were cut to be a little bit more proactive with specifically dealing with System Down, because My Body as a Shield does not deal with System Down. 2 Smashing Ground, 1 Barrel Behind the Door, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, the second Magic Drain, and 2 Skill Drain round out the side. And the extra is a bunch of stuff that we cannot make. I'm pretty excited to play this revised version of the machine deck. It looks a lot more consistent and has a lot more ways to get over those 2100 defenders. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get your game on! So board, this is the part where we find out how many Cyber Dragons each other pulled, right? Right? I hope you do understand the gravity of this duel, because there are some pretty crazy packs that are on the line. You are, and this would be a good match for you to snap that on, because those Dark Beginning 2 packs are pretty nutty, but I am ready to go. Ah! Saw right through my paper strats. Okay, I guess I will be on the draw then. Good luck, duelist. Alright, draw for turn, stand by main. So board, remember when I said that I had pulled some really, really dumb hollows out of Dark Beginning 1, but I said I was keeping one of them a secret? You're going to get to see one of them now, and you're not going to like it too much. I'm going to activate Delinquent Duo. Give up 1,000 life points. You can lose that card. Then you can discard another one. Alright. I am going to normal summon Steamroid. I'm going to activate Gaia Power. Battle Phase. 28 into your set. You have a Shining Angel. Okay, you do have a Shining Angel. After combat, I'm going to set a back row and shift the turn.
Yeah, that Gaia Power neatly counteracts the downside of Steamroid.
It also makes it really friggin' big.
Well, yes, as we saw. What is this? Another
That's a Chaos Sorcerer, yep. Chaos Sorcerer resolves. Yep. $14 in. Draw for turn, stand by main. Thankfully, I do have a nice clean out for the Chaos Sorcerer here.
Nope. Well, that does get him
apparently not.
It does get him off the field, at least.
Yeah,
it'll make him have to banish another light and dark.
Unfortunately, yes. And this is not exactly the best way to out the Shining Angel, but it does out it. I'm going to normal summon Drillroid here. Proceed to the battle phase and hit over your Shining Angel for 200. Or 700, I'm sorry. You can trigger your Shining Angel. I will pass the turn. Draw for turn, stand by main. Proceed to battle. I will attack into your new set. Okay, it dies by Drillroid's effect. You still get your trigger, unfortunately. Let me fix this. That was a misclick. What I was trying to do was peruse the contents of your graveyard. After combat, I'm going to set a back row and end my turn. That is a breaker. The Gaia Power? Okay. Gaia Power's gone. Okay, they crash. 14 in. Draw for turn, stand by main. Set a monster. Pass. Another Chaos Sorcerer, huh? That's probably, well, that's the same one. That's good.
Yeah, the same one that got compulsed earlier.
Yup. Same one that got... I mean, you could have another one, but sure. You get my Magician of Faith. Magician of Faith is going to pick up a copy of Snatch Steel.
And we're right back where we started, it looks like.
14 in. Unfortunately, despite the fact that I Delinquent Duo'd him, he's up a lot of cards. Draw for turn, stand by main. I would like the Chaos Sorcerer, please.
Yeah, I hear deck thinning with floaters is pretty good, as well as the Searcher with Witch.
I am going to banish the Shining Angel. Then I am going to set a back row and pass the turn. You will gain 1,000 life points. In response, I'm going to Book of Moon the Chaos Sorcerer.
I believe, yep, that de-equips the Snap Steel, but you still have it.
Correct.
Wow.
Draw for turn. Stand by main.
There goes the downside of Snatch Steel.
I am going to set a monster, and I will pass. That is a Bazoo. I have to look at your graveyard. You have 1 engrave. That is fine. Bazoo resolves. It is a Gyroid. Draw for turn, stand by main. I'm going to go ahead and flip up this Chaos Sorcerer. You have 1 card in hand? Man, that's so good. I gotta think about this one. I don't think this game gets too much better for me if I do this otherwise, so I'm actually going to Judgment the Bottomless Trap Hole. I don't like it, but I don't think this game gets too much better for me the longer it goes. I'm going to banish the Bazoo. Then I'm going to Tribute for Ancient Gear Golem.
Here we go again.
Battle phase, I will hit into your new set. What got tributed for Ufo Roid? I mean, if you feel that's a better way to fix this, then go ahead. But, like, I'm okay with this. That's fine. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Are you just emulating Cyrus?
Game state's just fixed. Yeah, it can do that. Pass.
Did Board take piercing battle damage from Gear Golem?
Yes, he took 1,800 points of damage. Board just also has gained a lot of life points this game. Oh, we have another one. This is pretty bad. I think I just lose here. If you have another Chaos Sorcerer. Okay. Yeah. I will concede to this. That is definitely a good way to use your 3 wild cards. Okay. I have a lot of side decking to do. I will take the play. Alright, draw for turn. Stand by main. I will set some cards. I will pass the turn. You got a Sidra too? Lovely, I was really afraid of this. Sidra's fine. You have a Sangin. I'm going to Book of Moon the Cyber Dragon. This is not what I wanted this to be used on, but it is a Magician of Faith. I will pick up Book of Moon. Draw for turn, standby main. Boy, I am not very happy about this. I'm in a normal mechanical chaser here, and I'm going to hit into your Sandgun. I mean, Recruiter Chaos is Recruiter Chaos. Pass! Sure. Okay, kill your Cyber Dragon?
Yeah, that hits both sides of the field.
This is why people did not play Hammer Shot back in the day. Gimme.
It was a banisher.
For Fusilier Dragon, Dual Mode Beast. 2,800. Pass. Now you see why I was upset about the Magician of Faith. Draw for turn, standby main. Normal summon Steamroid. Battle phase, 23 into your set. Die. Go. You have a Shining Angel. That is a very dead Steamroid. Draw for turn, standby main. Battle phase. Take 14. Sure. After combat, set 1, set 1. Go. It is a deco. I'm gonna draw a card. End step, I'm gonna Misty or back row. Draw for turn, standby main. Would you like to go to game 3? That's what I thought. Okay, game 3. Boy, your deck got a hell of a lot scarier, board. Like, now that I know that Emperor is in there, like, Emperor is just so scary. I can just lose the game at any moment. Although that must be how you feel with the limiter removal. Oh, you made me go first. I didn't even see that. Draw for turn, standby main. I'm going to activate Pot of Greed. Let's go ahead and fire Swords of Revealing Light, and then I'm going to set a monster. And pass the turn. Draw for turn, standby main. One turn on swords. This is super gross, by the way.
Well,
what can I say? That one. Get that out of there. Normal summon Drillroid? Battle phase, pop it? Well, it flips first, but yeah, it gets banished. After combat, set a couple. Pass! That's... I'm not happy with that, but that's fine. Two turns on swords. Draw for turn, standby main. That was pretty good. I'm going to activate Giant Grenade to reset the swords. Well, that's not going anywhere. Set some cards. Go. You get my Fusilier Dragon, the Dual Mode Beast, which is halved. One turn on swords. Draw for turn, standby main. Pass! I can't do much. I can't do much when there's two Swords of Revealing Light out. There's also a Spirit Reaper, but minor details. These back row are starting to get scary too. Draw for turn, standby main. Pass! Did somebody play Mystic Mine?
Oh, God.
It sure feels like somebody played Mystic Mine with this board. Draw for turn, stand by main. Set a monster. That'll do. Your Swords of Revealing Light also expire. Well, you don't have fodder for Emperor yet, but that's probably going to change. Yeah, that's what I thought. That gets it. I am going to draw more cards. If you beat me after I play Pot of Greed 3 times, then you are the master. Stand by main. Fire Pot of Greed. Again. This is so silly. Misty that one? That's pretty good. Clear your board. You got it. And then, since I still haven't normal summoned yet, I'm going to summon a card you have not seen yet. Something I got out of my Tournament Pack 5. Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. Battle Phase. 18. Oh, Econ.
Oh!
You have only 2 cards in hand? This is going to seem a little bit weird, but I'm actually going to Judgment the Econ here to keep you off of fodder. So you take 18. Then I'm going to banish your Shining Angel and your Sangan. Then I will pass the turn. I think that Judgment might... Some people could definitely call that Judgment a little bit loose, but I think it might end up working just to keep you off of fodder. I'm going to normal summon Dekoichi here. Go to battle for 32.
I mean, isn't a common PSA you say is play Graveyard Hate?
Boy, I am so happy that I put these in my side deck. Did you have Emperor in hand? Knew it! Knew it! I just had to keep you off of fodder. Oh, geez, you had all of them. Oh my god. The set was a Book of Moon. I cannot believe that Judgmenting enemy controller like that won me the game. I did have it in hand. Wow, I cannot believe that. That was a pretty good set. I like the new iteration of this machine deck. Drillroid and Steamroid add so much to it, and you won't believe some of the stuff I got out of Cybernetic Revolution. Oh, you had System Down! I was kind of scared of this. I actually boarded in Magic Drains for System Down. I was really scared of this card, and I wasn't sure how good the machines were. I noticed you had a lot of machines in your deck as well, but I just never drew Magic Drain for System Down. I was thinking about System Down as well, because that's a great way to deal with this board. Oh yeah, well, that's what's happened is you just got flooded. So I got all the wrong cards out of Cybernetic Revolution. I got 2 Ufo Roid fighters. Oh, you got one too? You have Polymerization, and you actually have fusion cards. I'm actually kind of surprised that you're running a bunch of machines and System Down. That was a thing. I think I got pretty lucky, considering that you had Emperor. I figured when you spun what you did on the wheel, one of the cards you took would be Emperor. So I did come a little bit prepared for that with the side deck Kaikus. I think it just came down to whoever drew their sideboard cards. But good set. You had me really scared, and that deck is going to be really difficult to deal with. So I think I'm going to take my packs of Dark Beginning 2. I wish you well on your opening, so I'll go to open those packs up now. All right, another match, another round in the winner's circle, but this isn't going to last for too much longer because Board is getting the same number of packs that we are. And now he has Chaos Emperor Dragon, which is going to be a real nightmare for this deck to deal with. I have to draw exactly Kaiku. Kaiku is really one of my few ways to out Chaos Emperor Dragon. There's 2 other really crazy cards he could have taken, because the wildcard reward that he got out of his last spin was any 3 cards. So any 3 cards from Magician's Force to the Lost Millennium, he could take, and it's incredibly scary. But let's go ahead and move on to that and open our packs. There's a lot of really crazy stuff in this set, and I'm hoping to catch some of it, so we'll see what we get. And our first pack has an ultra rare. It is Barrel Dragon. The Barrel Dragon is interesting because now that we have this card, we can actually fusion summon our Gatling Dragon that we picked up out of Flaming Eternity. We did also pick up another copy of Book of Moon, which I believe is our 3rd. I'll just have to check to see if we did get those. No, we did have a playset of that. We did pick up some more spirit stuff as well. None of these cards are like too crazy impressive. We did get Smoke Grenade of the Thief. While not good now, is going to be amazing later on, and there is a very good reason why that card got banned. All right, pack number 2 has not too much crazy stuff. We got a Karibo, which, while it's a hand trap, it's a pretty weak hand trap. Although, admittedly, Karibo would be pretty good in that Fiend deck that we have built. But none of these cards I'm really super impressed with. We did get our first copy of Book of Tayo, which is noteworthy. Alright, and our last pack from the first set coming up. And we picked up a Royal Oppression. That's one of the cards I was really hoping to pick up because I did not get this card out of Legacy of Darkness, and I was super duper scared because Royal Oppression is incredibly oppressive once we get more summoning mechanics, rather. We did pick up a Destiny board as well, but we will not be able to play Destiny board as of yet because we are missing one of the Spirit Messages. We did not get Spirit Message A, but we have all of the rest of them. And they are at common in the set, so if we do pick up a Spirit Message A, we will have that as a rather gimmicky, but still an option. And on to our set for winning. Nothing too terribly impressive out of these packs so far. Hopefully our second set will go well. And that is a Royal Decree and a Heavy Storm. Unfortunately, we will not be able to make use of the Heavy Storm, but Royal Decree is going to be a fantastic side deck card. We already have Jinzo to negate traps, but now we have a Royal Decree as well. And none of the rest of these cards are terribly good, but we got a Royal Decree. And then our second pack of the second set. Would like to get one more good hit. None of the crazy commons yet. And nothing terribly impressive in this pack either. We did get a Blast with Chain, which could be a good combat trick. And we did also get a Thunder Dragon, but we do have a playset of that already. A Luster Dragon number 2 could be played in some kind of dragon deck, but I really doubt we'll have the cards necessary to make that. A Luminous Soldier, like I had said in my Tournament Pack 5 opening, is not a very good card, and the rest of this just isn't very good. Alright, in our last pack, can we get one nice power card in the close? Just one power card. And a bunch of nothing. Wow. I mean, that Asura Priest is probably the best card in the deck, but I think her time of being good may have passed. Wow, that was a very, very disappointing opening. So unless we get more packs of Dark Beginning 2, we will not be able to use our Destiny board. We did get a second copy of it. However, board does have enough spell and trap removal where I don't think I'll really be able to use that too effectively. So what we got out of that win was a copy of Royal Decree, which admittedly is a card that is not easy for us to access. But we do have it, so it will be a nice surprise and may dissuade board from using trap cards in the future. So our next set will have another special pack on the line. It is Dark Revelation 2, and our next core set is Elemental Energy. We will have a new Forbidden limited list that changes things up quite a bit. But until then, that is the end of today's episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression Series. See you around.